It's your boy Gianni Versace. We back at it again with the next episode of No Offense But. And as y'all can see, we got gray skies. It's raining. The rain f***ing my plans. And y'all know I don't really have no problem with the rain. I love the rain, actually. I just hate when it f***s up my plans. I literally was supposed to be going out of town this weekend, but I decided to postpone it till next weekend because it was like a model casting that was supposed to be going on at Piedmont Park. And y'all know I've been trying to break into like the little modeling scene. They think, I imagine the shock and my surprise when I got online today hours before I was supposed to actually be there, and seeing that they pushed it back to the following weekend that I booked my trip for now. It hurts. It hurts. Hopefully it gets postponed again. I don't know. Hopefully I run into another modeling agency. I just felt like bamboozled. I could have just went out of town this weekend and then just did that next weekend. But like, I'm low-key glad I didn't fly out this weekend, because the cyber attacks at the airport have been like, fuck with everybody's flight. Flights been getting delayed. Flights been getting canceled. People ain't been going nowhere. Somebody just told me they poor little granny was stuck at LAX. She couldn't get all the way out here. So it low-key kind of lined up that I didn't go out this weekend, because I probably would have been at the airport sick. Also, what's going on this week? I went out on Tuesday, y'all. It's been a long time since I've been out on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday turns to put it on the flow Tuesday. I had finally met up with one of my friends, JT, and we had just bounced around to a couple different places. Y'all know I'm gonna go to Edgewood. If all else fails, go to Edgewood. That's always my rule of thumb. You just gotta know what time to go to Edgewood. Cause y'all know it was Taco Tuesday. I had went to Sidebar. And I got like a couple little $5 margaritas, $3 shots. But y'all gotta watch that cheap liquor. And whoever said sending shots at the bar get you somewhere, you lied. Or maybe I just ain't got the sauce. I sent me a shot at the bar trying to get me a little 1-2. I don't know. I didn't end up with a number. So I guess that just goes to show that you can't always send shots at the bar. We sitting there, it was me, Jess, Jada, and we sit down, and I'm like, what y'all think? Like, take a look. Let me know the 411. What y'all think? They like, yeah, it's giving. I'm like, okay, how I want to play this. Mind you, they look like they was there with their mama. So my thing is, I'm not that bold. I'm just not that bold to go up to somebody while they with their mama or their auntie or their grandmama. Like, I'm just not gonna do that. So I take me a couple shots. I'm like, let me just send me a shot and see what that do for me. So I had the bartender come in. I said, here, come here, girl. Let me tell you something real quick. And she was like, what's up? I'm like, can you get me a shot 3 seats down real quick? And I was like, what you think? You think it's giving? She was like, yeah, it's giving. I'm like, all right, bet. She sent the shot. She went over there. She didn't tell them who it was from. But she went, gave the shot out, then came back over to me. And it was like, cheers, y'all, like, well, all of us, and we did one. So like, you know, you can get where the shot came from. So I look, she told me, she was like, oh yeah, he was smiling or whatever. And then I look down, and then we like make eye contact. I'm like, what's up? Like, you know, I just did, like, cause I'm still trying to be subtle about it and not do too much, but like at the end of the day, like, what could I really do? So, I mean, that was the end of it. My friends told me I could have tried to like work it a little bit more, but I don't know. I did the best I felt like I could do. That was a lot for me right there. It wasn't meant to be. I don't know. We're gonna charge it to the game. But anyways, then I had met up with my friend. We had a couple more drinks, some hookah, came to my house, chilled for a bit, went to Bar 42. Is that what it's called? Bar 42? I think it's called Bar 42. It's over kind of near Edgewood, but I've never been there before, but it was really nice, like, setting. But I will say this, it was so dead. Like, I asked the bartender, I'm like, is it always like this on Tuesday? She's like, yeah. It's certain places you can go in Atlanta on a Tuesday and you might bump into something like Sidebar on Tuesday nights. It's gonna go up. But we had went for the earlier end of things, so it's like, after I sit somewhere for 2 hours, I really don't be interested in being there too much longer. And they have like 3 floors at Sidebar. So they got like the chill, like, you know, maybe I'm just coming off work and I just wanted to just catch a little drink, a little taco, whatever, a little vibe. And then they got like the 2nd floor, which is like the lounge. You can like really get in, really sit down, cushion seats, like whatever. And then they got the 3rd floor, which is like the club. Like they got the sections, the bottles, the whole 9. I remember one time we was there, we were so fucked up drunk. Jessica hopped over the goddamn bar top, stole a bottle from behind the from behind the bar, and they didn't even know.
Y'all dared me to.
Dare her to. She sure did. So that's the story, but that was summers ago though. But anywho, me and my friend JC, we ended up going to Crew. And I would say this is the one thing I do like about Atlanta. I mean, this could happen anywhere, but I feel like it happened in Atlanta way more. Like you could just go out on a random night, not expecting nothing, just thinking you just gonna have a regular whatever night, and then boom, fall into some damn fun. Just a whole bunch of shit start happening. People spending money, bottles getting popped. Like it'd be whatever. So we went to Crew. We was sitting down. I think they had like a little drink special. We ordered the drinks. We looking at the hook we want to see, and then my girl QC walked through the door. I'm like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Come here." And then we hug or whatever. And it was just her birthday. I had seen, because we don't follow each other, but I seen her on my other friend page. So she had ended up sitting in this little like section area. She like, come on. So I'm like, okay, boom, just me and him. We came, sat down, we sitting talking. She had got a hookah, we had got a hookah. I'm ordering us shots, whatever. I want to say, I don't know how long we was up in there for. Because after a while, when you start drinking, you start losing track of time. Next thing I know, I hit up my girl who was in town, Leisha. I'm like, Leisha, pull up. She like, where you at? I'm like, I'm at Crew on Edgewood. Leisha, pull up. We sitting there. We waiting on Leisha to pull up. Next thing you know, some more QC people walk in. It's like some couple dudes, whatever. They come in, they sit. Next thing you know, it's a bottle coming out, and I see the little. You know what I'm talking about the bottle girls. The bottle girls coming out. Happy birthday, QC. I said, at this point, I'm about 6 drinks in, 4 shots deep, sweating, singing Drake word for word, baby daddy gang, shawty held me down before I had a name. Like, I'm all into it. And they bring out this Don Julio, and the Don Julio start having me act a foolio. Like, I almost was better off drinking whatever liquor they was pouring us up. The way that Don Julio was hitting me, and I just kept on drinking. They just kept on passing, they just kept on drinking. Just kept on passing, I just kept on drinking. Just kept on passing, just kept on drinking. I couldn't get enough. I don't even remember how I got up out of there. Leisha pull up, I'm already drunk as hell. I done forgot the girl name when she pulled up. I hate when I introduce somebody in that very moment and then I just forget their names and you just sitting there looking like, I be hoping my friend be like, my name is, you gotta slip that in there. You gotta tell your friend, introduce yourself to them when they come and get the name out loud so then you could just act like, yeah, one of those. In the midst of all this, QC then invited us out Friday night to Revel for her birthday. So I'm like, ooh, Revel, I'm about to work myself. I'm gonna come through Revel. I ain't been to Revel in a minute. So we finished partying there. They ended up, Leisha left. No, Leisha didn't leave yet. I'm lying. We sitting there. Somebody else pulled up for a little bit. Then QC and her people, they end up leaving before us. They still got like a little bit of the bottle left. I'm like, what? And I don't know if it's just like what it is, but I ain't the person to just leave liquor hanging, especially not after somebody popped the bottle. We ain't gonna leave the liquor hanging, but I also couldn't drink that much more. I think I had 1 shot and I'm like, okay, let's get up out of here. We leave. I get in the car, me, JT, Leisha, we drop Leisha off at her car. That's the last thing I remember. Next thing I remember, I'm walking up to my house, getting on the elevator. Next thing I know, waking up, toe up, still toe up. I'm still in Crew. It's your birthday. I'm still toe up. Clothes, all my clothes is on, jewelry on, hat on. Okay, like everything's still on. I'm confused. I'm like, what happened? I don't know if it's Wednesday or if it's Sunday. I look at my phone. It's for surely Wednesday. But I can't even move. Stomach toe up, head toe up. So you know what that means. It's time to go find me a liquid IV, a BC powder, a Pedialyte, something. I gotta shake back. It's time to shake back. I didn't have no reason to go that hard. It wasn't even my damn birthday. QC walked out all cute and cunt. Girl, oh, I'm all toe up and you over here fine. So, I'm laying in the bed for hours and hours and hours and hours. All I can do is just lay there, dehydrated. I eventually worked myself up to go and get me some of my liquid IV, BC powder. I don't know what made me want to get all of these things at once. I got a liquid IVs, a pack of liquid IVs, a pack of goodies, a Gatorade rehydration drink, and maybe I think that was it. Why? That was like $40 American. I'm like, damn. I still gotta eat too. That was more than the meal. The meal was only like $10 or $11. I had got me some Chick-fil-A after that too, because I needed to put something on my stomach. And I still had plans for that day. I had to go sit down with my friend Jalen and go over some content and talk some stuff. But, child, the moral of the story is, stop getting drunk on Tuesdays. I was so drunk on Tuesday, I couldn't even make it out Friday night. I missed whole Friday night. I went to the gym, did leg day, fell asleep, missed the whole night. I'm not lying. Y'all, Natalie Nunn, she been working. She got the Bad Boys UK trailer. I literally just watched it before I got on here. And all I have to say, what the hell was that, Nat? You got these like, I don't know what the hell they saying. They arguing over nothing. You know what? I'm still gonna watch, but I don't feel like that's what we needed, Natalie Nunn, the chin witch. That's not what we really needed. I didn't want to hear a bunch of bumbaclats and this and like, I just didn't want that. And now I'm gonna be looking at my screen all confused. I'm gonna need a translator to watch this. I can't watch this on my own. And UK men, trash, all of them, trash. Wrap them up, throw them out the window, trash. So we'll see. Y'all ready to get into it? Because it's too much going on. We got too much tea. Like I need my cup right now. So, this week was the week of City Cinderella. Jatavia Johnson, also known by JT, formerly the City Girls, dropped her debut mixtape called City Cinderella. She also dropped her documentary. And, before this came out, I said two things could happen. Either it's going to do really, 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 really well, or she is going to disappoint the fuck out of me. However, I somehow managed to fall right in between. I'm not completely satisfied with it, and I'm not completely upset with it. And let me tell you why. Well, let me start with why I like it. I think that she played with sounds that we haven't heard from her before. She has a couple bops on it that I like. I like that she whacked a couple bees because it was time for them to get whacked. I liked how well she pushed it, like even before she dropped it, like the whole marketing, like the City Cinderella, she found the theme, she stuck with it, the rollout was cute. She did the tours, the club tours. I also liked specifically JT's Coming. It should have been longer, but I like JT's Coming. I liked Serving. I liked Lemon Pepper Stepper is okay, but it had the potential to be so much better. Those are the things I liked. What I did not like, JT girl, and I love you down before I say what I gotta say. I feel like you just not that hungry. That's what it is for me. I feel like on some of these songs, you sounded bored. It sounded like you were reading it I'm in the booth stepping with my rhyme song. Like it wasn't hitting. It didn't feel believable. Some of your songs, and I'm not just gonna sit here and just say whatever. I felt like it was on like Lemon Pepper Pepper. Where I said it had the potential. It just sounded kind of like you just sounded like bored, a little bit lazy on it, and that's what I didn't like. And I feel like sometimes as the beat, the beat repeats itself, and you can only say a certain amount of words in that little time frame before it repeats itself. So I feel like sometimes you say extra words in there, and then it makes it not blend and rhyme as seamless as it could, and it don't be needed. And I'm also gonna say this, girl, I need you to step the bars up. I know everybody is not the biggest lyricist. I'm not one of those people that feel like everything has to be bar for bar for bar thing. Like everybody can't do that. But I felt like the bars that you did have were lazy. They were lazy. Like it was lazy. I did not like it. But when I first heard the album, my first time hearing it, I was hearing the songs. I'm like, okay, I like this. But to me, it didn't. All this like the bulk of the project didn't give me like big replay. Like I have like maybe 4 to 5, 6 songs that I'll potentially play again. Really, like 3, and I don't like that. I feel like especially right now, you have so much weighing on you. You have people who want to see your downfall. I just wanted so much more from this project. And some things in the song that you be saying, like really repetitive. Like, I'm a dark skinned, like, okay, we know that. What's next, boo? Like, what else? What else? I need the delivery to be there. That's like the main thing. Like, F what you really saying. If the delivery is good, the beats are good, like you could kind of get away with stuff. And I'm saying this from like a creative or artist perspective. Like I feel like a lot of people get on here, get behind a camera and start speaking on things they don't know nothing about. I've had my era where I messed with and played with music, and I went to the studio. I wrote my rhymes over and over and over and over and over. If I didn't like how this sound, I'm doing it all over, start to scratch. So I'm not just gonna sit here and critique nobody on something I ain't never tried before. I know what it give. I ain't did it on your scale before, but I've definitely been in the studio trying to get my rhymes right. And so I just feel like I wish you would, I don't know, just give a little bit more. Just give a little bit more. Just put your all in. Like, stop being scared. I don't know. I feel like it's something she's trying to, like, she's not putting it all out there. I just feel like something she's still hiding from us. And it's the reason why she's not giving it the all that I know that she can give. She has the potential. I heard it in no bars. Pay for this. Get your bands up. Oh, you ain't tricking? I'ma hit your mans up. Colt, hockey, spur in the summertime. He gonna keep the bills paid because he know. Like, those bars stuck because it felt believable. You was really popping your shit. That's what I wanted to hear in this mixtape from you. I didn't feel like I fully got that. Maybe in like I said, 2 or 3 songs. I like Brick Talk. Like Serving. You gave us that a little bit, just a little bit. But it wasn't consistent. That was my thing. And she also took jabs at, Cardi B on the intro, Hope. And y'all remember there was like a whole social media thing going around where they were saying when Cardi B used to dance, because she was originally a stripper, she put like a bottle in her vagina, and there was like a whole thing going on about that, but she swears it wasn't her. So she went and said that on a song and said, like, basically when you was putting bottles in your vagina, I was like running up a check at Saks, like running up a bag, put it all on my black card. She also swings on Glorilla and Swang. She ends up saying something along the lines of, she getting into it with like a chick with a man voice. I feel like she could have hit her a little bit harder than that. I feel like, especially the way Glorilla was going at her when they had their little beef on Twitter, And this is what I'm saying. Also, sometimes like the bar is a little weak. Like girls could have said like a little bit more, could have swung on her a little bit more. She even had a song with Stunna Girl called Lemon Pepper where she had, well, she didn't, but Stunna Girl took shots at Sukihana and Asian Doll, saying that Asian Doll was like eating. But you know, I don't even know if you can like call that coming for her. You can't come at Suki about that. Like if you're gonna come at Suki about something, you're gonna have to come at her about her kids, about her family. She don't care about no eating no man ass. She made a song about it. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really hit. It don't really hit. And then she said something about Asian Doll. I can't even remember what she said about Asian Doll, but she said, that she be whoever she fucking on at the time, that's who hood she claiming. And Asian Doll has been known to be a hood hopping bopping ass bitch. She was messing with King Von, and she was the queen of drill, and then she started messing with Von, moved to New York. Now she the queen of New York drill. Like, bye, Asian. Shit, I'm so tired of Asian Doll. You know, amidst JT dropping her project, I assume that a lot of fans, spectators, barbs, whatever, expected to see some sort of push or promotion of City Cinderella from Nicki Minaj, which she did not. And I don't feel like she has to, honestly. Like, that's not her damn job. But fans started to suspect that maybe there was some sort of fallout between Nicki and JT. And soon after JT had dropped her album, Nicki had went on Station Head, and she was doing, y'all know how Nicki do her, like indie windows, Nicki trivia. You know, she says things, insinuates things without really saying them, so it's like left to your interpretation and to pull what you know or feel like you know to inform some sort of assumption or opinion. But essentially she said a lot. She said, but you also have to question why a person would go from unliking you to loving you. Isn't that odd? And so if you guys have followed the Nicki City Girl relationship earlier on, before JT was, on, she had made like little disses and subliminals towards Nicki. They had went on podcasts and radios and kind of not threw shots, but kind of whenever the mention of maybe a Nicki Minaj collaboration, they kind of like shied away from the topic. So it always just gave like, what's a given? And they didn't even know them. So anywho, I guess paired with Nicki not promoting JT. And if we look a few months back, there was so much communication between them on social media, tweets, chit-chatting, lives, JT going over to Nicki's house, and maybe song projects versus features in the making that we never actually had gotten. So it would lead people to believe that maybe there was some sort of fallout. Maybe there was some sort of beef. They even went and said, I don't know this for sure, but this is what they had said, that Nicki was following JT on Twitter and now she's no longer following her. How they know that, I don't know. People got too much time on their hands. I'm not sure if that's true, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but you would assume if they're talking on Twitter and this, that, and the third, that they potentially may have followed each other at some point. But I feel like sometimes the fans be wanting to fuel that beef, and it's not necessarily on either of the artists, but the fans will do it so much that it'll feel like it. And if the artist isn't saying anything, it'll also feel like it. And looking from the inside, the outside in, if somebody was posting me and putting me on stage and tweeting with me and have me at their house, you would think maybe they would post me. Not that they have to, but you would think like, oh, okay, I just dropped my project. You know, she gave me these, you know, JT has spoken on how Nicki has given her really good advice. She's probably even helped her write a bar or something. Who knows? You would think maybe she would. Not that she has to again. So that's what's been fueling that JT Nicki beef. We're not sure because it hasn't really been pushed, but people would assume the only person that I could think of who didn't like her and who didn't like her initially and didn't like her now was City Girls. That's where my mind went. But maybe we'll hear more about it soon. Maybe the thing would have been to not really speak on it right now and then speak on it later if it wasn't about JT. You get it? JT drops her project, then Nicki goes on Station Head, and she says these things. It makes people wonder. So I guess time will only tell. I feel like usually when there's a fallout between Nicki and an artist, it's like a bigger thing. So we'll see. But JT's coming. Speaking on Cardi B though, Cardi goes off on Joe Budden for his comments that he made on her sophomore album, claiming that we'll probably never get it. So Joe had his podcast, the Joe Budden podcast. He was sitting there, we're talking about Cardi B, how it's been 7 years since her freshman album has come out, and she's just becoming basically what he said. He says that she's basically just becoming like a single artist. Like she's just gonna be dropping singles and features. And he was saying a bit more about like how Offset, people probably at Atlantic probably want her to go ahead and drop something, etc. Cardi B was not feeling this. She took to Twitter Spaces to express how she felt. Joe Biden was also in the spaces listening to her. She was going off on him, saying he was always talking mess about her. He's always hating. He's not reporting facts. She said that it was multiple times he came to Starlets when she was dancing and she gave him lap dances and he was high on that powder. And she was just reading him down. She said she cared more about what academics say over him because at least he actually putting some factual information in there. He just in there saying anything. Joe Budden, shocked and surprised, went ahead and made tweets expressing how he wouldn't speak on her anymore. He just is a fan of her and wanted to hear more music from her. He said he's never got dances from her from Starlets. He's denied those allegations, and he's also denied the coke allegations. Everybody denies the coke allegations. I don't get that. Joe Budden, if you want to come out and say that you gay or bi, whatever, why you can't come out and say you do coke? You remember that? I think he was trolling, but he definitely did come out and say that he was bisexual. This was like a couple years ago. This was probably like 2021. So she went off on him for that. And then in the midst of Cardi B going off on Joe Budden, this personality, Twitter, social media, I don't know what she is. I just found out about her. Didn't know the girl. Don't care to know the girl. Her name is Paradise Paris. She joins the chat and she goes ahead and steps in and says on Twitter, might I add, ooh, hold on, waiting on the tweet to load. Why does Cardi B feel she's above criticism? All of her peers are dropping albums and doing progressive things in their career, and she sticks out like a sore thumb. No tours, no meet and greets, no merch, one album, featured singles, and a viral moments. Is she a rapper or does she rant? Excuse me? And y'all know Cardi B, she'll get into it with a dog. She don't care. She'll get into it online with you, your mama, your granddaddy, your kids, your aunties, your uncles. And we've seen it. Over the last few months, she has had so many rants and go-offs. She did what she did. She had one with Raymonte. She had, I can't even name all the people. That's like the most memorable that I could think of. But she's had a few different times where, and it's usually like her fans. She's usually going off on her fans. She done blocked her fans. That's why I can't even remember them, because it's like not notable people. It's just people that are fans of her, probably kids. And from there, Cardi B had responded. Let me see. Oh. Oh man. Okay. I was trying to find the tweet where Cardi B had responded back, but I can't catch that one. But I know that right after Cardi had responded to her, basically, Cardi had responded and started fat shaming the girl. So as the girl is talking about Cardi B's career and her artistry, Cardi B's response is to insult her about her body. So now she's body shaming. I just know that all these rants and raves that Cardi B having, I know her PR guy, I know he's probably just somewhere in a corner smoking a cigarette every time she go off and say these crazy things. But she starts insulting her body. So to which Paradise, she makes a video basically saying, I wanted to play it, but I don't even feel like I could play it. It's too many curse words in it. Basically, she's just saying like, you ain't keeping a song on the charts longer than 2 weeks. The only thing that we, keep it up with you about is your failing relationship. You got all these people who support you and love you, want to hear your music, but you too busy getting into it with them. And anytime you want to go at it, we can go at it. We could do it. And she told her that she had a heavy tongue. I said, oh, okay. Well, we'll see where that gets you. So from there, and she also attacked Cardi's surgery, saying that she was insecure about her body. And she's a girl, Paradise, she's like a little bit bigger. She's like, girl, I'm natural and I love it. I'm secure. You having all these surgeries and you ain't secure and your man keep cheating on you. She goes in and Cardi responds saying, when I do surgery, baby, I don't do it for the man. I do it because I love the vixen look. I got my butt and my soft breasts before I met Offset. The fact you bees always want to bring up men for a drag, because you can't drag nothing else, is not a gag. Because dudes in line up in my DM. You spoke on me, and now you mad because your stomach is layered like a wedding cake? Back to the fat shaming. Back to the fat shaming. We back on the fat shaming. Paris responds, and you look a mess still. They look terrible. You tried to make it seem like my opinion invalid because of my looks. It wasn't about a man. You sat there and tried to be funny, and you mad because everybody keep critiquing you being a failure with the #1 album. And that's my thing. That's where we gotta stop right there. How she could be a failure with a #1 album? She is still in demand. She keeps a brand deal. She stays books. Like, regardless of if she's, Nicki is queen to me, but we can't deny the facts. To have an album 7 years ago and people are still waiting on the next thing you drop. And mind you, in the midst of this, Paris was on Spaces as they were going back and forth on the Twitter beef, and this is where I joined the chat. I was sitting and listening to what Paris had to say and the supporters she had in her chat, and there was a lot of Cardi B fans in there as well. And Paris was basically comparing Cardi B to Lauryn Hill in the sense that they both have an album that they dropped, and then just haven't given their fans what they wanted next. And I just thought that was a weird comparison. I know Lauryn Hill somewhere, like, how I get in it? See how I get in it? I'm at home with my kids, like, and she was just basically rambling, saying everything that she was already saying in the tweets. So as I keep reading, Cardi B responds, this why you 304s always got to bring up my marriage as a drag, because how you sound a failure with the #1 album. Yeah, the album that haven't been passed in 6 years by no female. So F you. You can't talk about shit else. And then she posted a picture. It seemed like a clip, but she screenshotted it, and you could see her chest getting grabbed on because Paradise had said that Cardi B had some hard breasts, but you can see they look very soft. And Cardi B said, talking about hard titties, it never gave hard. They always in her mouth. B, you shaped like a gummy bear. You Flintstone vitamin shaped B. You 304s love surgery shaming. B, I'd rather die on a table than look like you. Rather die on the table than be natural body is crazy. Right, you better watch what you say. Y'all seen what happened to DC Young Fly wife? It can happen to you. She responds, B trying to compare bodies but don't want to compare bodies of work. You threatened by your peers, which is why you spend so much time trying to get in front of narratives. We can go all night. I got time, B. My tongue way slicker than yours. So my thing with Cardi B is this. I feel like every time she get into it with somebody, it's always somebody of like a lower stature than hers. And it don't be really always calling for a full-on fledged beef and you reading them about their bodies and this, but I also feel like you can't tell somebody how to feel, but it's just like, why every other week you in the headlines for this? We hear more about your social media squabbles with irrelevant people than we are hearing about your music, which is, I feel like, what everybody is trying to say. And that's why Joe was comparing you to all these different artists, new and old, because it's just like, they feel like they're kind of running up to you. However, I don't feel like anybody is really touching Cardi B. Like none of the new girls, not JT, not Glorilla, not none of them girls, honestly. I think she is sensitive. I think maybe she just needs to take a break from social media. Maybe just have some people running her accounts. I think maybe she gets too involved and it's easily to be consumed. Because just imagine, y'all, like on a regular person's account, if you get 1 or 2 negative things said about you, like that might make you want to get in the comments like, man, no. Imagine like hundreds and thousands of people. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, people try to sit there and say, oh, well, you're a celebrity. That's what you signed up for. You're famous. That's like something that comes with the territory, da-da-da-da. But like, she's still human. Things are still going to get to her. Things will still get to you. And y'all will never understand until y'all are in that place. And everybody want everybody to be Beyonce. Everybody can't be Beyonce. I want y'all to stop saying that. I'm so tired of that comparison. Beyonce to the bullshit. Beyonce to the bullshit. Beyonce probably at home crying too. Shit, she just don't be posted about it. Paris goes ahead and responds, and mine are natural, and you shaped like a long-bodied Mexican. Before your B ass got them 18 surgeries, your teeth was stacked like dominoes, and your tongue lazy like the Mississippi Ripper. At the end of the day, I'm comfortable with me. You not, which is why you going out your way proving yourself. Shut the fuck up and go drop that album. Oh. To which Cardi B posts like a high school performing video of her and her body, and she says, shaped like what? Baby, since high school, my body was skinny bitty. It was always T. Teeth was stacked like your 3 stomachs and your 2 pussies. Then you want to talk about tongue like you don't have a heavy tongue yourself. Stacked like your 2. Ooh. Baby. Then Cardi B goes back and says, let me make it very clear for you, baby. When you still getting offers like this in 2024 with 1 album after 7 years, I don't have to compare myself to my peers. That's what an insecure B that don't know they spot in the game. Go get your feet done. You know I hate it when you bummy. And then she goes and posts a screenshot of some text messages where she was offered a $2.5 million stadium offer. I guess she was gonna have to like perform, but they talked them up to $3 million, and they're still evaluating the opportunity. And then she also received a radio show offer from a promoter for 1.5 million, and in response, they made it clear that she was only considering 2.2 to 2.5 million dollar deals. And then she would have 3 shows, probably private shows, where they were going to pay her $2 million per show. And there was 3 shows. So that's $6 million. That's a lot. I know she ain't gonna be able to keep all of it, but shit, that's still a lot. Yeah, and then she posted the girl's feet. I ain't gonna yeah, them feet looked kind of toe up. But they've still have been going back and forth. So now it's gotten to the point where it's not even about the music. It's not even about Paris's body or the surgeries or Cardi B's marriage to Offset, because Cardi B already made it clear in her spaces that she's single. Since then, they've been arguing about nothing, just to do it. This is why people be trying to get clout off of y'all, and when y'all engage back with these people, you are giving them that clout and that power. So this girl Paris then went to the point where she posting screenshots in Offset DM trying to get him to come F her, and then she gonna screenshot it, put it on Twitter, and tell Cardi to have her man open up them DMs because she trying to get a piece. Like, you 304s is weird. And I've seen a bunch of tweets about, again, like I told you, I didn't know who this Paris girl was before this. She basically is somebody that just be having a lot of controversial takes on whatever's going on in the media. And people have said that they really don't care for her too much because she has made fun of, sexually assaulted victims. She's degraded different women. So allegedly, that's what they say. I haven't seen that personally for myself, but that's just what I've seen on Twitter amidst the beef. So I just want to say all this to say, just got to watch who you engage with, who you interact with, positively, negatively. It's not always worth it. It's not worth your time. It's like you're giving so much energy to this person, and the girl's getting paid off Twitter interactions and engagement. So literally you're just putting a check in this girl pocket, where the silence would have hurt her more than anything. But again, like I said, you can't tell people how to feel in the midst of how they feeling. So she felt like she needed to go off. I just don't know what she gained from it. She might mess around and sue the girl. Who knows? Y'all know Cardi B on mine suing. And speaking of like suing, Tasha K getting sued so bad. Like she ain't gonna have a pot. She ain't even got a pot to piss in right now. I don't know where she at. I don't know if she in Africa, if she running around sneaking and hiding in Atlanta. I don't know where Tasha K is. Tasha K, alongside William the Baddest, are being sued by Soulja Boy, rapper Soulja Boy. The lawsuit is over false claims made on Tasha K's show about William having sexual relations with Soulja Boy. So this dropped back in May, where William the Baddest had an interview on Tasha K's Live. If you're not familiar with Tasha K is a messy ass YouTube podcaster. She has like her Unwind show, and she's been known for saying very controversial things and also just lying, just saying things, not telling the truth, not being honest, doing anything to get views, rage bait. She'll bring anybody on here just to get, if they have something to say about somebody negative, she's going to bring them on there. She's going to give them the platform and then get sued for it. She got sued by Cardi B a few years ago. Defamation of character, lawsuit, $4 million. I don't think Cardi B has seen much, or if any of that money, because the girl fled to like Africa. But anyways, she brought him on to brought William the Baddest. He's a social media character. He was also on the first few episodes of Bad Boys on Zeus Network, but he eventually had left after getting beat up. But he was saying that Soulja Boy was like into race play, and he was talking about Soulja Boy's penis and all these things. And again, this happened in May, so now they're just now getting the lawsuit. So this is probably something that's been in the works. But I just don't understand why she be bringing these people on the show, and she know that it's gonna get her into some trouble. I don't know who she like thinks she is. And I seen Armand Wiggins tearing her ass up because she played in Armand Face too a while back. Her and his tired ass wig, this goddamn Effie turning around wig. Like, I just want Tasha K to just get it together. I don't know why she would bring that on Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy ain't never gave that. And I don't feel like he had no beef with Tasha K for her to be trying to bring him up in some mess like this. William the Baddest, irrelevant, another cloud chaser, looking for his time. And you have to watch people like that. Like, there are people on the internet who have their fan base or their clout off of clout chasing, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, like somebody like Smiley from Baddies, like, they have to antagonize, provoke, say, and do things to get their platform. And when you build up a platform clout chasing, you have to keep clout chasing, or you become like irrelevant. Like, nobody's checking for you. So now it's like you have to continuously top what you said. And much like Tasha K, where she's not building a rapport on reporting the news and being honest and truthful and just giving people the tea, and then maybe making her own assumption from pulling, different sources. She's literally just saying whatever's going to be hot, whatever's going to be controversial, getting anybody on there, like, just for a view. So now she has to keep consistently getting these weirdos and these clout chasers to come and say the most controversial shit about different people just for a view. And it's lame and it's loser. Speaking of loser, the Lotto and Ice Spice beef just seems to keep like going. Like, people keep pushing it, keep igniting it. So I guess Lotto had a interview with Billboard, and during the interview, they had asked her about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle, the beef. A few weeks back, they were doing disses back and forth, and they had asked her, would she ever enter into a battle like that with Ice Spice? If you guys have been following, Ice Spice and Lotto have been beefing, throwing shots at each other in their songs, but not necessarily making complete diss songs about each other. And basically, Lotto was just like, no shade, no tea, no shade. There's all different like lanes of music, and if it's not hardcore rap lyricism things, I'm not saying that that's the only sort of music. She's open to all different forms of music, but she feels like Ice is in her lane doing what she does. She feels like she's in a different lane doing what she does, and it's like completely different. But she doesn't feel like Ice Spice really gives like rap beef battle, like, let's make disses to each other. And then she even was just like, would she want to do that? Like, would that make sense? That wouldn't even make sense for her. Like, and it seems like, it wasn't a video. It was like posted on Billboard text. So it's like, you don't really know what the tone of the conversation was. So you can just only assume. But a lot of people, once they seen that, they were like, oh, Lotto ate that. Basically saying like, Ice don't want that. Do you need that, Ice? It's how it came off. Ice ain't said nothing. Ice too busy in London running around with Central C and Madeline to have to respond to this girl right now, getting ready for her release of her album. She'll probably respond to her after that. But it seemed genuine. It seemed like she wasn't really looking to like start a beef with her. It was just like, it don't really give that. She was like, we throw little jabs in songs, people should keep doing that. Like, that's what fuels rap. Essentially, real rap keeps the people coming. Like, I don't know why everybody has gotten so sensitive and forgot that like what rap was about, and that it's a competitive sport, like rap battles. So we'll see what Ice says. She just saying that Ice isn't that kind of artist. Ice ain't really said much since. And I want to know what to expect from coming from Ice Spice's Y2K album, considering that this is my thing. Why on your debut album you only have 10 songs, Ice Spice? And out of 10 of those songs, 4 of them we already have. So you really only have 6 songs. And out of the 4, I feel like the one, Thank You to Shit, that was a joke. Fat Butt, I like it. However, I only like it because it reminds me of Nicki Minaj. 3, Give Me a Light. That one, like, it was all right, but I feel like it didn't do what she probably thought it was going to do. I feel like with a feature like that, not a feature, with a, what is it called when you use like a sample? I just felt like I wanted more from that. It was just kind of repetitive. It was kind of like the same old, same old. And then I do like the song with Central C and her. That one was cute. That's a cute song. That's a little bop. Like I like that. I just hope in these next 6 songs, you really blow me away, because I've been saying this was going to make or break Ice Spice for me.
I think she needed somebody to bounce off of.
I could see that. I just think she just needs to switch it up. Like, speaking of switching it up, we got America, we have a problem. Joe Biden, y'all president, Democratic Party, has dropped out of the presidential race, the presidency. He has completely forfeited. He has drafted up a letter expressing that he's literally just going to focus on the rest of his term. He's dropping out of the race. And he's endorsing Kamala. I need a shot after that. I don't know what to do. I kind of wish he would have just ran and then maybe just gave it to Kamala later on. I think he probably felt, especially after that whole debate, like he just wasn't maybe competent. You think the assassination got him like feeling woozy? But I feel like the assassination was staged. However, be it as it may, whether it was or wasn't, I guess that's a call for it, but I don't feel like that's why he dropped out of it. I just think that he probably feel like he's fit to do like a whole run right now for presidency. So he said that he's gonna like say more later on, but right now he's just dropping out. He wants to thank everybody. He just wants to focus on the rest of his term. I think this is scary for America because like they were our 2 biggest contestants, and what you mean?
Like he was eventually, because he wasn't gonna win regardless. But you know, Kamala, she coming for that spot. That's what it is. She coming for that spot.
So do you think that he's dropping out to give Kamala a better like fair fighting chance?
Maybe, yeah, definitely. I feel like she'll be more likely to win. Obama probably been in his ear.
Kamala would be a great candidate. I feel like we are, as Americans in society, I feel like we're ready for it. I feel as though, but I don't feel like other people who aren't people of color are ready for it, if that makes sense. I don't feel like they would allow a black woman to win over Trump. I just don't feel as though they will. I feel like we're in a place where I feel like we could have it on different terms, but I don't know if they will allow that to happen. I don't know. I feel like there's so many cards being played and in Trump's favor, especially now after this assassination attempt. Like it's literally like a cult. They're running around here after he like his first time speaking after the assassination, and he had that little Band-Aid thing over his ear. People were literally showing up with the little Band-Aid things over their ear in support of him. It's like a cult. You got Hulk Hogan, calling him his hero, ripping himself out of his shirt to endorse him. I'm like, oh, this is some all right, redneck central. I just don't know what this means for us. I'm scared. I think people need to I feel like what people need to realize and wake up, people need to rally. If they want Kamala to win, they have to rally behind her. I feel like the thing about it is we are always the majority and not the minority, but people don't see it as such. If all people of color, black people, Spanish, Latino, Asian, indifferent, if everybody decided to come together and vote for Kamala, it would definitely she could definitely potentially win. So it's just interesting to see how these next couple weeks is gonna roll out. I want to see what Kamala Harris is gonna come with. Did she say, I think she had made a tweet and said she was ready to fight. You didn't see that? Let me see. Well, I'm not gonna look it up right now. It's gonna take too long. But we'll see what Kamala says and how this is gonna go these next couple weeks. But yeah, that wraps up my little segment on the tea right now. So we about to get to the fan facts. Let's shift gears a little bit. No offense, but I have a message and I want you to resonate with this however you resonate with this. But this is my message. I just want to say this. Always be true to you. The plan that God gave you is your plan and it's not for anybody else. Hone in on your skill, on your craft, on whatever it is you do, and stick to that plan. And always, even if you're the underdog, always remember what your plan is and stick to it. I had an uncle, God rest his soul, my Uncle AJ. He was maybe a little bit of a troublemaker out of my grandma's kids. My grandma had 3 kids, my mom, my aunt, and my uncle. He was the baby. And, he might have been mixed in with the wrong crowds and hanging out with these people and doing this, doing that. Maybe even went to jail once or twice, had a baby when he was 16, certain family members probably, said things about him. Oh, we don't know what's going to happen with AJ. We don't know where that's going to take him and how he going to raise this kid. I was young, so I'm not speaking on what I heard them say because I don't know what they were saying at that time, but I know how my family is. So I'm gonna get back to that. And even me, I don't know what I thought was gonna be his path and where he was gonna go. He was always, I feel like, the underdog. But I will say this, he was like the Kanye of the family. It's kind of revolutionary, kind of made you think, liked to keep people together. Everybody loved him. He had that working for him. He had that good personality trait. So amidst maybe him doing some fuck up things or, running around, having a kid at 16, didn't go to college, he had a lot of things that also did work for him as well. And I remember when I was younger, he ended up getting on at the airport. And I think he might have been, I don't know if he was TSA or not. I can't remember. I was young. But he was working there and for some time, but he hated his job. He hated the job. Hated it. I think he ended up quitting. But my grandma told him, look, you need to go back down there and get that job. Go back and get that job. That's that working at the airport, if you stay there long enough and you're a good employee, you would eventually move up and you'll do great things. He ended up getting his job back. He kept working his way up. One thing about my uncle, what I'll say is, he a Virgo like me. We see something. We see how the best person on the job is working. learn on the job, learn on the go, and then we find a way to make it better. We replicate it, but make it better and do it in our own way, quicker, faster. And he just kept rising up, kept rising up, kept rising up, kept getting moved up, kept getting promoted. He became someone who worked on airplanes, airplane mechanic. And they get paid bank, like, I think like 6 figures. And then in California, he probably got paid a little bit like more than whatever Georgia's paying. And my uncle, he was complex, but he was very simple at the same time. He only really cared about his shoes, his family, and, I mean, his daughter is his family too, but his daughter and his collectibles. He was like a big little kid. Like, he wanted to keep a Nintendo and an Xbox and different little Batman figurines and stuff around his house. That's all he really cared about, was having a nice place. He wanted to get my grandma a house. So now I'm working overtime to make sure I can try to get my grandma a house too. A big one. He wanted everybody to have like a really big house. He wanted to have a big house for everybody to stay in. And he worked his ass off. Got the place. Got the car. Got the girl. Had the nice place. And it's crazy because I remember, like, I grew up with him. He was like 11 years older than me. So we were always in close proximity. I remember him like staying at my grandma's house, my grandma moving away and letting him consume the apartment that she was staying in, him moving away to Atlanta, coming back, figuring out his journey and what he wanted to do and who he wanted to be, finessing and jugging, like doing whatever he got to do to make it. He was a natural born hustler. He ended up making it in his own right. The house, like I said, the house, the car, the girl, his child. He was a great father. He was even like a father figure to me and my siblings. And to think back, like, of what, like I said, I know how my family is, what they said, what they thought, because they didn't just do it to him, they also did it to me as well. That's how I know. And I wasn't even as bad as him, as I guess you would say, or as troubled. Because me even growing up, I was like a black sheep, or I felt that way, or like the troublemaker. Don't get me wrong, family loved me still, regardless. But like the things that they would say, they would try to keep certain cousins away from me because they felt like I was a bad influence, or my personality was too big, or you know what I'm saying? And I was just being me. I remember my mom would take me to little castings and modeling gigs, but she wouldn't want me to give what my personality was. She wanted to kind of like suit and tie me a little bit, make me a little bit more polished. But, you know, personality is what sells. Is what she didn't know. So much like him, I felt like I was, you know, counted out, talked down to a bit. People probably didn't know what to expect from me. I just knew, like, I always wanted to be somebody. I knew I always wanted to be known. I always wanted to be a celebrity. I always wanted to have some sort of notoriety. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be this. I wanted to do that. Everything I wanted to do has changed over the years. Like, it's even changed. It's still changing. I just changed it again just last week. Right. And I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I just know I needed to get my foot through the door. I got the plan. I needed the deal. You know what I'm saying? So I moved away. I went to school. School was my plan B. It was never my plan A. Plan A was to always just get rich and be a celebrity and do something with my life. I didn't know how I was going to get there yet. Even when I'm away, whispers, chat, negative things are still finding me from my family all the way in California to here in Atlanta. Why? Why would you want to put down a child? That's what I wanted to ask myself. But I always knew who I was. That's one thing I always say. I always have known who I was. I never let people talk to me crazy. I never, didn't speak my mind. I was always going to be Gianni. Gianni was Gianni, and Gianni still Gianni. And again, like I said, I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I just started posting. I started just working towards something, being consistent. And, in my generation, of, you know, my cousins and stuff in my age group, it's a fair amount of us. And I think we all on different paths. I think we're all taking different paths and on having different experiences. But I feel like I'm one of the ones that like is very bold. I color outside of the lines. I go against the grain. Everybody's going this way, I'm going that way. I know where I'm so sure of myself, my merits, my talents, my personality, and where it can take me, that I don't allow those outside chatter to affect what's going on in here. And it took me a long time, don't get me wrong. I wasn't always like this. What people say used to get to me a lot, and I had to let that go. Small tales from many men. Like I just can't, I can't focus on that. And in doing so, I've been able to build a name for myself. I've been able to do for myself. I've been able to provide for myself. And I just always sort of not contribute that, because I feel like that's in me, but I feel like I kind of align myself with my uncle in that way. Like, and I'm doing it on like a younger scale. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also don't have a kid. So that's another thing too. Like I can only imagine having a kid right now trying to do it. And he was doing this at 16. So I always, you know, when I think of where I come from and who I am and being that underdog and always sticking to my path, I think of my uncle and how far he's come and how proud of me he would be right now if he was still here. And my main message is, you know your path. Don't let outside haters, regardless if they family be the ones that hate on you the most. Talk down on you, kick you when you're down, switch up on you. Stick to your path, no matter what. Even when the odds are stacked against you. Look at where I'm at. There's people think I'm in a freaking, like I paid to go somewhere to shoot this. This is my house. This is what I wake up to. I'm only 22. Some people, they dream to like live like this. And I'm not saying this to be cocky. I'm just saying it to tell you that you can do it too. Believe in yourself. Anybody out here, it don't matter if you just got one person on your side. Even if you got to be that one person to tell yourself every day I get up in the morning and I tell myself, you're powerful. You can do this. Stay on your path. Thank y'all for watching this episode. Make sure y'all like, comment,